Hello everybody, it's Avondale. Welcome back to another episode of the Lobster Helpers. I am here today in the same set that I used for Chef Guy the other day, and we're going to take a look around at some of the props that I used to decorate the kitchen, and then we're going to talk about how to pose and make your own props. So you'll probably notice during the episode that I put some food in the freezer here. I had some stuff on the shelves, shelf items. And I don't think you would have seen it, but I put some soup in this cauldron here. And after the episode, I actually made this push broom over here to lean against the corner. And all of these things were done with the armor stand. So hey, spectator guy. He's up there on the oven warming his buns, I guess. So yeah, I did all of these by posing armor stands. This one right here is a stained clay block on an armor stand's head. And then these are just the items that they are, pumpkin pies, a bowl, the different meats, a couple of cups on that shelf over there. And then this broom is made out of some hay bales, some stone slabs, and some sticks. I think it looks pretty good. So we'll go outside here, and I'm actually going to show you guys a little demo I set up for how to pose these, and then we're going to make one ourselves. So I'll take some lobster heads first of all. Summoning an armor stand, it's an entity. It's case sensitive here in the middle, where it says armor stand. And you can summon it relatively with coordinates. So we're just going to plunk one down on top of this command block. That's just your basic armor stand, nothing special. So now, to do the different things you need to do to pose these, you need to use NBT tags, which you add on to the end of your summon command, or you can add in with entity data. And we'll show how to add them in on the summon command first. So right now I'm going to give it a custom name. That's what this shows here, custom name, and it's the name that I'm picking is demo because it's just a demo. So you spawn it, you'll notice nothing different, but if we test for it, test for @e name equals demo, we'll find demo. So it's sitting right here. So now if we want to actually show the name, custom name visible, :1, and you separate these tags with this comma right here in the middle. So let's summon one of those, and now you can see that it says demo no matter where I'm looking. Unless I'm looking away from it, of course. Okay, so now we want to show the arms, so the tag for that is show arms 1. So we'll do that. Now he has arms, and we also want to take the base plate off of the bottom of it. Don't need to do this for the posing, but if you're doing some of the lobster guys like I've been doing, you can do it that way. And now this thing I wanted to show you here is that they initially have gravity, so I'm going to spawn this one 2 blocks above, and you can see that it spawns up there and falls down. So to take the gravity off, you could use the no gravity tag at the end here, and that'll allow them to float in the air. So now to use these to actually pose your blocks, you have a few different options. You can put the block on their head, or you can have them hold an item in their hand, and you can also use the smaller versions of these armor stands to do this as well. So I can shrink these right now with the entity data command. I'm going to take my text off first. We'll do entity data, and we'll do @e within a radius of, we'll say 3. That should get both of those. And now we can add the small 1 tag, and that'll shrink them both down. So now you can see here, if I just take my text off of there again, you can see that they're both smaller, and as a result of that, their blocks that they're holding are smaller as well. So we can use this to make scenes in Minecraft, make little props. That's how I made the broom in there, by putting some of these together, and that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do. We're going to make one together. So I was experimenting with some of these booths from the Lobster restaurant back there, and I was wondering if there was a way to decorate them with the meal on the plate. And so that's what I've done here. I've put the steak sandwich and a baked potato on a plate. And so we're going to go ahead and try to make another one of these over on this table here, but we're going to make it with a different item. We'll say a cooked fish, I guess. We'll do the cooked salmon, and we'll do maybe a carrot as the side. So that's what I have set up over here, and I'm going to use this piece of glass to show you guys how it's done. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to summon an armor stand here. And we're going to want to give it a name so that when we reference it, we're only referencing this item stand. We don't get a different one on accident. And since we're making a plate, I'm just going to call it P1. There's going to be multiples of these here, so we'll just do it that way. So we'll have P1, and we'll just put it here. So we have an armor stand, so we want to do some things to it. So we'll do entity data at E, and now we can say name equals P1, and now we're guaranteed to just get this one. And so let's see, what do we want to do to it? We want to make it small. We want to make sure there's no gravity. We want to take the base plate off, I guess, why not? And let's see that. Okay, so that's done. Let's go ahead and add arms to it. And now what you're going to notice as I'm doing this is that even though I've only included, you'll notice this last command only included the show arms tag in it, that didn't update the other tags. It only updated the one that I listed. So it didn't make it big again, it didn't add the base plate back, it just updated it from where it was. So we've done that. Let's go ahead and we'll show how to add equipment. Let me just clear my text again, that must be awful to look at. So entity data at E name equals P1, and we're going to put some equipment on here, so we'll use the equipment tag. And when you use this, you need the brackets like that, and then you have your curly brackets for each slot separated by commas in between. And so your first slot is what's in their hand, and then the rest of them are armor slots from your feet up to your head. So feet, legs, chest, and head. So the first thing that we're going to do to make the plate is we're going to put a plate in here. So you need ID, and you're going to put the ID in quotation marks, and it's Minecraft : carpet is what I use for the plate. And now this has a damage value because it needs to be a color, and you have to capitalize the D on damage, and then it's damage value 8. So if we do that, that's going to put the carpet in his hand there. And now when we actually did the carpet one for this one over here, it was a big guy that did it, so let's make him big again. We'll do entity data at E name equals P1. And we'll make him big again, so to make him not small, you do small 0, and he's big. So now we have to pose his arm so that the carpet is flat. And now this is tricky. The first thing you need to do is you need to take it and just pose his right arm so it's at 0. It doesn't start out at 0 for some reason. So we're going to do pose right arm in the curly brackets, colon, and then the square brackets. Now these values in here are float values, which means you need to follow up every number with an F. It's a pain, but that's how it works. And there you can see that we've dropped this right arm down to its side. Now we need to get a viewing angle here where we can see if it's going to be flat, and I think this should do it right here. So now let's pose it again. We're still doing the right arm. Now to move the right arm forward by rotating the shoulder, you use the very first value here. So I think if we try it by about -15, which is the forward direction, that should be about right. Let's try to find a better viewing point. Let's grab some snow. It's all about trying to find the right height to stand so that you can see things level. And that one does look like it's level, so we'll go ahead and use that. Now we need to teleport them around, and there's going to be numbers all over my screen while I'm doing this, so ignore that while it's happening. If you pop up your F3 menu here, the new reticle in the center of your screen has colors for the different directions, and it really helps when you do this if you learn how these colors work. So you'll notice the red color pointing out to my right now. That is the positive X direction. So that means to the left is the negative X direction. You can see that if I look out in this direction, you'll see where it says facing east towards positive X, facing west towards negative X. So now your Y is up and down, which is the green. That one's obvious. And then the blue is your Z. So remember those while you're trying to teleport this thing around. Now the reason I have this black wool on this, or this black carpet on this glass here, is because I actually want to make this plate on this so we can see everything that's happening, and then we're going to move it over to the table at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and teleport this P1 guy around and try to get it so that we're treating this carpet as the tabletop. So first thing we'll do is we'll teleport him backwards by a little bit to get him centered. So to do that, we use the teleport command on the P1 guy. And we're going to use relative coordinates here, and we're trying to move him to the left by a certain number of blocks. I don't know what. So we need, it's negative X or negative Z direction. Z is the last coordinate. And when you're doing decimals, you need to lead them with a 0. So we're just going to move it by minus 0.2, and that's okay. It's on the table. Maybe we need a minus 0.1 in there. There it goes. Sometimes they take a while to update. So now that we're in place, we're going to move it down, and because no gravity is turned on, he can sit in blocks. So we'll move it down by 0.1 at a time until we get him to where we want him. And now this is where we want to see level with the table, which is right here. So move him down again, down again. There he is. So that's about as level with the table as we're going to get. And the last thing we need to do is move him to the right, which is positive X. So we'll go ahead and take that off, and we'll move him by 0.1 in the X direction until he looks like he's centered on the table. And that should do it. Okay, so we'll get all that stuff off of my screen. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these in. And actually, before I do that, I'll show you one more thing. If we do entity data at E name equals P1 again, and now we add the invisible tag to him, invisible 1, he disappears. So now we have the carpet as the plate sitting on the table in front of us. So I'm going to go ahead and use what I just taught you guys to add in the fish and the carrots onto the plate, and then I'll come back and show you the final product. Alright, there we go. We've got a plate. It has our cooked salmon on it and a carrot. Doesn't look too bad. It's a nice meal presentation, I think. So now to get this into place, we're going to use a little trick. We're actually going to change all of their names so that they are the same thing. So we're going to stand right here. We're going to do entity data again. And we're going to do at E, and we'll do a radius of 2. That should get them all. And now we'll use the custom name tag. So we're going to change all their name, and we'll change it to plate since these are plates. So now if we do test for at E with a name of plate, we should find 3 things, and we do. Let's get that off the screen. And now we're going to try to teleport these guys over to the table. So we're going to do that using relative coordinates. So we'll do TP at E name equals plate. And we're going to be going in the negative Z direction first. We'll do minus 4 blocks, I guess, to get it over there. So there we go. We are over the table. I'll pull up the F3 menu again so you guys can see the cursor. And we'll try going down a block as well. Do minus 1. And there we go. The plate's on the table. So posing armor stands is a really nice way to decorate different scenes. As you can see here, we have our nice plates laid out. They really help improve the table look, I think. And if we go back here in the restaurant, we'll see some other nice uses of them. You know, you can make custom props that you don't usually see in Minecraft. You can do things like improve a cauldron, make it look like there's a different type of liquid in it. You can decorate shelving really nicely. And it really helps add, you know, depth and realism to your scenes. So I'm going to try to incorporate this when I can as I'm working on the Lobster Helpers. If you guys have any questions about that, if there's something you think I skimmed over a little too quickly, or if you want me to go in depth in something, or if you have an idea for a really neat prop that I could include with the Lobster Helpers, I'd love to hear it. So let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll try to respond to as many of them as I can. I've been Avondale. Thanks for watching. Hello everybody, it's Avondale. Welcome back to another episode of the Lobster Helpers. I am here today in the same set that I used for Chef Guy the other day. And we're going to take a look around at some of the props that I used to decorate the kitchen. And then we're going to talk about how to pose and make your own props. So, I did all of these by posing armor stands. This one right here is a stained clay block on an armor stand's head. And then these are just the items that they are, you know, pumpkin pies, a bowl, the different meats, a couple of cups on that shelf over there. And then this broom is made out of some hay bales, some stone slabs, and some sticks. I think it looks pretty good. So we'll probably notice during the episode that I put some food in the freezer here. I had some stuff on the shelves, shelf items, and I don't think you would have seen it, but I put some soup in this cauldron here. And after the episode, I actually made this push broom over here to lean against the corner. And all of these things were done with the armor stand. So hey, spectator guy, he's up there on the oven warming his buns, I guess. Nothing special. So now, to do the different things you need to do to pose these, you need to use NBT tags, which you add on to the end of your summon command, or you can add in with entity data. And we'll show how to add them in on the summon command first. So right now, I'm going to give it a custom name. That's what this shows here, custom name, and it's the name that I'm picking is demo, because it's just a demo. So you spawn it, you'll notice nothing different. We'll go outside here, and I'm actually going to show you guys a little demo I set up for how to pose these, and then we're going to make one ourselves. So I'll take some lobster heads first of all. Summoning an armor stand, it's an entity. It's case sensitive here in the middle where it says armor stand. And you can summon it relatively with coordinates. So we're just going to plunk one down on top of this command block. That's just your basic armor stand.